22nd, our second week of this week. We apparently are joining the masses at church across the globe, which is why our YouTube link is not working. So I don't know about you, but for me, the filled with rethinking how we are together, learning about technology and the wonderful ways that it can help us to come together as a community, and also the ways that it can be really challenging. So this morning, we are going to be having a service that is not just me talking at you. If everything works out the way that we have a multitude of voices, we'll have people offering joys and sorrows, we'll have someone doing a time for wonder, we'll have someone doing announcements, we'll have music. That is the plan. If we have learned anything in these past few weeks, it's that sometimes our plans do not work out the way that we want them to. And so if that is the case, then it will be me that is speaking to you for the next however many minutes. And we're just going to figure it out as we go, because that's what life is about. And nothing that we do or try will be perfect, and that's okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is for us to learn and to grow and to live into these different ways of making community that we can try to do together. So, let's take a moment and think for a few minutes about your past week. What has the week felt like? Perhaps your kids have been home when they would be at school. Perhaps you're learning how to work from home, which is always a challenge. One of the biggest challenges that I think people are experiencing right now is a lack of structure to their days, feeling like they wake up and they're not sure which day of the week it is or what time something needs to happen, because time and space have sort of become these arbitrary ideas. I know I certainly have felt that way, that there's this sense of sort of Groundhog's Day, that I wake up and I'm not sure whether it's Monday or it's Wednesday or it's Friday. I know today's Sunday, and I know that it's now spring, which is super exciting. So what I'm actually going to do is just go right into my reflection that I've prepared for all of you. But first, I'll start with some announcements. So this is our second online worship service for the First Unitarian Society of Ithaca. We are a community that creates connection, finds inspiration, and engages the world, even amidst these uncertain times. We're so glad that you have carved out the time to be here this morning, even in this new way. And I imagine that we have some folks who are joining us who have not joined us before, perhaps from other congregations in our cluster. If things have all gone right, we have folks from Athens, Pennsylvania who are joining us today. Welcome. Other folks from the Ithaca community, otherwise joining us for the first time or the 100th time, welcome. We're glad you're here. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, but we are certainly certain that we need one another. So a few announcements before we begin. The first, the summer services planning team is getting to work. They're interested in who you want to hear from during the summer. In the summer, we have a different way of doing services. Perhaps, hopefully, we will be together physically again, but we change it up a little bit in the summer, and we're able to have different people offer reflections during our summer services. So if you're interested in doing that, or if there's someone in the congregation who you're friends with or in the community who you'd like to have come speak to our congregation on a Sunday morning, then please, by all means, send a message to the office or to me and let us know your name or the name of someone you're nominating. And also, as you can see, have moved every time. Still working out some bugs with that, but certainly finding new ways to create connection in our community in new ways going forward. So that means that all of our in-person meetings, including the newcomers program, including small group ministry, including ministry teams, committees, all of them are moving to the Zoom format. If you have questions about that, or you want to learn more about how you can create a Zoom meeting, please write to Jessica in the office at office@uuithaca.org. And just in general, it's good to be checking your email, be checking our Facebook page, our website for more information about how to create connections amidst this experience of physical distancing. It is an experience of distance. A lot of folks have been calling it social distancing. I'm preferring to call it physical distancing because I think that we can be in community with one another. So let's just take a deep breath for a moment and settle wherever you are. Maybe you're in your living room, maybe you bundled up and are outside enjoying the sunshine. And if you will just think to yourself or say out loud the name of someone that you are grateful for this week. I am grateful for Mike, who has been furiously working on the little pieces, and I am really to all of you who have been finding ways to connect with one another, reaching out to me and the staff and saying, how can we create opportunities for engagement? And those of you who are taking the responsibility and the choice to, and the courage to stay home so that we might flatten the curve of this COVID-19 situation. So I will formally open this morning in these words. It is a people. The church is not only a steeple shooting through the tree line above the buildings and the streets and the cars. Rather, it is a people proclaiming to the world that we are here for the work of healing and of justice. The church is not walls built stone upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person, linked with person of all ages and genders and abilities, a community built on the foundation of reason and faith and love. The church is not just a set of doors open on Sunday morning, but the commitment day after day, moment after moment, in our hearts, creaking open the doors of welcome to the possibility of new experience and radical welcome. The church is not simply a building. The church is not simply a steeple. The church is not simply a pew. The church is the gathering together of all the people and experiences and fear and love and hope in our resilient hearts, gathering however we can to say to the world, welcome, come in, lay down your heartache, pick up hope and love. For the church is us, each and every one of us, together as a beacon of hope to this world that so sorely needs it. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Here you belong. The flaming chalice is the symbol of mystics and heretics, artists and activists, reformers and refugees and Unitarian Universalists everywhere. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. I have a few joys and sorrows to share. The first is that our hearts are with Jane MacArthur as she recovers from surgery for an infection in her knee replacement. She will continue to need medical care for the next few weeks, and so we're holding her in our hearts. I also hold in my heart Gwendolyn Richards, who is turning 5 this week. Happy birthday to Gwen. And I'd like to offer up joy that Leah O'Connor's grandmother, who we know as Wah, turned 98 this week, and also was able to join in her first ever Zoom meeting, which was very exciting. And finally, it is with a very, very heavy heart that I share with you that Oliver Habig's cancer has returned. He has been given an estimation of 4 to 6 months, and he is so grateful to this community, to the people who have helped to lift him up and to hold him in the light in this time, and we will find ways to connect with those like Oliver who are struggling with illness, even in this time of disconnection. Our meditation this morning are words by John O'Donohue from his book, Blessed Space Between Us. This is the time to be slow. Lie low to the wall until the bitter weather passes. Try as best you can not to let the wire brush of doubt scrape from your heart all sense of yourself and your hesitant light. If you remain generous, time will come good, and you will find your feet again on fresh pastures of promise, where the air will be kind and blushed with beginning. May we find moments of calm. May we find moments of generosity. May we find ourselves again on fresh pastures of promise. So may it be. Amen, and blessed be. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. So now I would like to turn the camera over to Suzanne Quagliata to share with you the time for wonder.
Hi friends! I'm so happy that you're here with me for Time for Wonder today, and I think that there might be a lot of people here that have never been with us before, so I welcome you all as well. So for the last week I've been wondering, how can we worship at home? How can we bring church to our homes? I thought about it a lot, and you know what I thought of? I thought the first thing we need is a chalice. The chalice is our sacred fire. It's the light that connects us all together, and it's a sacred part of our community. So today, I'll challenge you to create your own, there's some issues with my audio, but I'm going to start again from about my challenge for you. I've got a challenge for you. I'm going to challenge all of you to create your own chalice at home using all of the things that you have around the inside of your house or the outside of your house so that you can bring a chalice home to you. I've got some examples for you. This was, my daughter made it at our chalice making event, and because I don't have very many candles in our house, I've got a little banana to show the flame of our chalice. I have a lantern that can easily be lit like a chalice. This is a decorated glass with a battery operated light or candle that doesn't work, so I put some yarn on it for all you knitting people. My chalice children will recognize this one. I've got a felt chalice, and you can light the chalice by putting the flame on top. I love this one. I have a teacup, so I'm just gonna flip it over like this. And then I have pipe cleaners that I'm gonna put on for my flame and light my chalice like that. And then I love this one too. This one, I've got a jar and some Play-Doh and a birthday candle. So I'm gonna take the Play-Doh and I'm gonna make a little ball and put my candle right in there and then stick it in my jar. And I have a really pretty chalice right here. So these aren't all my ideas. I had tons of ideas, but I didn't want to ruin the fun for you. So I'm challenging you to make your own chalice and be as creative as you can with all the things that you have inside or outside your house. And I want you to send me pictures. Email me pictures of the chalice that you create, and then I'm going to post them on Facebook so that we can all see how creative we were, and we can see that we are all connected still. Even though we aren't together, we're still connected. So let's strengthen our community and our connection by bringing the sacred flame of our chalice home to all of us. Thank you all for being here today. Bye.
All right, exciting times. Wow, I never knew you could make a chalice out of so many different things. I am really lucky because I was able this week to bring our chalice from the sanctuary to my house. Don't worry, I got it there safely. I even put its seatbelt on so that it was safe on the drive. But I now have this beautiful chalice that I'm taking really good care of until we're able to bring it back to our sanctuary and rededicate it to our space and be able to be with one another there together. So, all right, so now we are going to have some, oh, I know, okay. All right, so each week we take an offering to sustain the important ministries of this congregation, the programs of this congregation and its presence. Today we'll be accepting your gifts in a variety of ways. We do accept gifts via text on our website or through the Breeze system, or you can also just put your check in the mail. So in order to do a text, you would text the number 607-260-6616 with the amount and the offering. And I will also hold this up while we have some wonderful music from Stephanie Ortolano. We are committed to being the church in this crisis, and we need your support. This includes our full payment of our staff, including paid sick leave for those who cannot do their work from home. May these gifts that we offer today support connection, inspiration, and engagement for this congregation and the ways it ministers to the world. This morning's offering will now be gratefully given and received. With gratitude for the generosity of your gifts, we say thank you And now I would like to invite Sharon Castellanes from our stewardship team to give a message to you this morning. So some of you may remember when I came to you during candidating week, and the first time that you ever heard me preach.
Hi everyone, Sharon Castellanes, stewardship team.
Hold on, here's Sharon.
I almost forgot. Okay. On behalf of Stewardship Committee, we invite you to spark the magic and give with love. During this time of distancing, we recall how important and magical our connections at FUSIT are. Your stories of the connections that have sparked magic in your lives are truly inspiring. You'll begin to see them shared on social media in the coming days. And while we cannot be physically together right now, it is more important than ever to share your messages of hope, love, and inspiration with us. So you could email me with stories of personal experience and community magic making that happens here now or in the past. And let's celebrate the many magical connections that we share. My contact information can be found in the weekly announce. Or now that we're suddenly online all the time, you can go ahead and share those stories on social media on our Facebook page at FUSOI and tag FUSIT and add the hashtag SparkMagic. Our stewardship campaign continues, and your pledges will be essential to sustaining our community in the coming months. For now, though, we would like to focus on the magic that we share. This week, I remember the magic gathering at the Magic of Ministry. This was truly a community effort. From those that helped to prepare and serve the food, helped decorate. Did you guys get to travel by food powder? That was awesome. It was aesthetic steam magic. And to everyone who was able to join us and share this last meal together, especially those special souls who stayed to the bitter end to clean up the mess. My heart is full when I recall all of us together. If you weren't able to join us then, please know that this is the magic that sustains us all. Even when we cannot be together, this community love, play, and support is truly what matters. This is what we can all sustain no matter our financial situation. If you would like to make your pledge now, there are a variety of ways to do so. By the magic of telephone, online, which is uuifa.org, or even by text. All these details are on our stewardship page, which you can find on that website at uuithaca.org. And to text your pledge, you can text your gift amount with the word not offering here, but spark, and that would go ahead and text your pledge. So I hope you all are well and are staying healthy. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Sharon. So it has been a journey. It has been a journey these past few days. It has been a journey this past hour, quite frankly, in figuring out how to connect with one another and how to adjust when our plans go awry. So thank you all for your patience, sticking with us. I have been reflecting a lot on the idea of journey. It's our monthly theme, which is a little little ironic to me, considering that we are actually not supposed to leave our homes. So our theme is journey, and we are staying in our houses, which feels a little incongruous sometimes. And I wonder, what does it mean to be on a journey when you have made the decision to care for others by staying home from work, from school? And for me, at least, it has actually felt like a journey to be home right now. For me, it has been a journey inward. It's a journey of discovery, things about my home that I look past all the time, realizing how much I really need to be outside, realizing who the people are that I worry about, who I miss the most, and noticing those little changes that are happening outside as we welcome spring. It's been a journey, sometimes what feels like weeks, but has actually only been a few days. And I've come to see these little things as blessings. I have enough. I have a safe home. I have my health. I have my spouse. I have my dog. There are some among us who do not have these things. There are some among us for whom this whole experience is not just an inconvenience. Blessed are those who are out of work. Blessed are those who work in the healthcare industry, in grocery stores, in food establishments. Blessed are those who are without shelter. Blessed are those who are without adequate medical insurance or documentation or other barriers to seeking treatment. Blessed are we all. This experience we're all having is a transformative moment, one that will shape us as individuals, as a community, and as a world. If we're lucky, it will change our normal. It will transform how we are with people going forward. But much of that depends on how we spend this time that we're given. Worry is necessary. These are troubling times. But we can't live in that place of worry. I'm reminded of when my wife was deployed in Afghanistan at the beginning of our marriage, and I was constantly worried. In a way, I was living in a chronic state of fear and worry. And a friend of mine who had been a military spouse long before I had been said to me that worry is like rocking in a rocking chair. You can do it all day, and it will get you nowhere. This is where we are. We have been given a moment to pause and reflect, to have some authentic worry and fear because these are challenging times, and to slow way down. We cannot do the things we normally do. Our schedules, our routines are out of whack. We cannot go to the places that are our second homes, our schools, our churches, our playgrounds, our gyms. And so we must create sacred and intentional space where we are, at home. Today, I want to share some items on an altar that I'm building to ground myself during this time. And I invite you to consider creating an altar in your home, either by yourself or with your family. You might, I will, consider adding things that hold meaning for you. The first step may be to find a cloth that you like. This is a scarf that was actually given to me from youth in the first congregation that I served. And it feels very bright and springy to me, so I'm using that. The first item that I'll place is a ring. This ring belonged to my great aunt Agnes. She was born in 1907. And this woman and the generation of my family that she represents lived 2 world wars, the flu pandemic 100 years ago, the Great Depression, countless other challenges. And from this ring, I draw strength and courage from my ancestors. I also have some pussy willows. I have long seen pussy willows as an exciting sign of spring. We are lucky enough to have a bush of them in our backyard. and they are a reminder that spring has sprung, that even amidst the worry and the fear, there can be beauty and new life and new possibility. These remind me of the softness of spring, the inevitability of warmth. Next, I will place a bracelet. I wear this bracelet almost every day. It was given to me by my dear friend and colleague on the day of my ordination. Inside it, it has words from Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker. It says, "Choose to bless the world." From this bracelet, I draw the reminder that we always have a choice to use our talents and our energy to bless or curse the world. I'm reminded by it that it is a prayer for myself and for all of us, that we will choose to bless the world. I also have a list of people with whom I want to connect more deeply with during this time. Some are people I'm already close with, others are those I don't know as well. Some are people from the congregation, others are people from my life outside of ministry. And this list and the card that sits with it remind me of the ways I can connect with others, even during this time of isolation, using old-fashioned pen and paper or picking up the phone. And finally, two pictures that I placed on my altar. One of my wife and I on our wedding day. And the other of my extended family. There's some in this whose health is greatly at risk during this time. There are some who will be out of work. There are some, much like your own families, who will struggle with being out of school or missing games or gatherings or other things they love. There are some, like all of us, who are scared, are worried, and are fearful. And yet from this picture, I draw a great deal of joy. Here we are smiling. Here we are laughing. Joy is possible, even amidst difficulty, even amidst worry. So I wonder what you might put on your altar. I wonder what might help you to create sacred space in your home. I wonder how you might consider slowing down, reflecting on the things, the people, the values in your life that help you find solace. And I hope you'll share your altar with us by posting on our Facebook page or sending in pictures for us to share there. I'll start by posting mine, a picture of my altar later today. Let us consider that these times are asking us to slow down, to rest, to take care of each other, to be mindful of our interconnectedness. There are great gifts to be found here if we can find ways to stay grounded, to move from a place of worry to a place of calm presence and love. May you turn over and over again to the sanctuary that lives in your heart, in your home, and in all places where love and possibility abound. Amen, and blessed be. Our closing hymn is number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Before we extinguish our chalice, I want to thank you again for joining us in this way. As you have probably gathered, this service went a little differently than we had planned. It was a little more clumsy than normally on Sunday morning, and it's partially because of our need to practice improv in the face of technical difficulties that we faced this morning. I imagine that many of you at this time are anticipating having things not go the way that you planned. Maybe you had a wedding that you had, maybe you had a retirement party planned, maybe you had a 50th wedding anniversary / 75th birthday celebration for your parents planned that can't happen any longer. Maybe looking forward to graduating from high school or college or any of these milestones, and these are being impacted by daily events, by the way that this whole pandemic is unfolding. And so in light of that, I hope that we can continue to find ways to be together, that we can continue to find ways to celebrate these milestones with one another, to find community amidst the uncertainty, and to have patience and grace with one another as we muddle our way through. So with that, we extinguish this chalice, but not the hope, love, and courage that it represents. We carry our love and our courage out into this beautiful and broken world. Our service is now ended. Let our true service now begin. And please join us for our Zoom coffee hour. The information is on our website. There's also a Facebook event if you'd like to join that way. Thank you. Be well, be kind to one another, be kind to yourselves. Enjoy the sunshine.